When setting up your iSeries, the Control Center is an important piece in making life easier as the caregiver. To open up your Control Center, you'll hit this pink icon here named the Control Center, and you'll double tap on that. Your Control Center will open. From here, you can see there's different folders on the left-hand side, such as Buttons, Display, Wake on Gaze, Setup and Updates, System, etc. When I set up a device and working with the iSeries, I typically program these buttons. This is important and helpful for the caregivers. Now, on the left-hand side of the device, you'll notice there are 3 buttons. This picture here is a good representation of what those buttons look like. Your first button, when it's programmed, will say something like Send Keyboard Input Escape. Your button 2 will say something like Track Status Window Show /Hide, and your menu button will say that it will open Communicator and Compass menu for quick access. I typically switch button 1 by going into this set action here, going into gaze interaction, and then I switch it to gaze interaction pause /resume, which I will explain. My button 2 I keep as track status window show hide, and the menu button we cannot change. Next, we switch the display. A lot of the times I will switch the display to be fixed in an upright orientation. If someone's using an eye gaze device, they don't technically need it, the orientation to be switched around. So this keeps the screen upright and facing towards the communicator. Other than that, that is pretty much all I set up when working in the Control Center. And now I will show you why that's important. I've set those settings. I can just exit out right here of the Control Center, and those will be saved. And now, my first button, you can see this mouse is going around, and my eyes are what is making that mouse move right now. I can pause my eye gaze as the caregiver. You can pause this for the individual you're working with by touching the first button that we just programmed on the left outside of the device. This pause button allows me as the caregiver to touch the device and not compete with the user or myself's eyes. This pause button can be moved around if it's in your way. Your second button that we programmed is the track status button. This is explained in other videos, but as you can see, we want 2 dots here in the center and an arrow in the green right here. This arrow in the green and 2 dots in the center. This is very important when working with eye gaze. Thank you so much, and I hope this helped you set up your Control Center.